Oh, hello, Karen, it's me, Brian Bless from the Fighting Coast Guard.
Hello, good
How are you?
afternoon.
I'm so sorry, we've been getting that five minutes late here. Anyway, nice to talk to you, Karen. How nice to
And
talk to you.
you. What's the weather like with you today, Brian?
Well, and actually it's sunny, but very breezy. But of course, I mean, all the things I've done in my life, all the expeditions I've gone on, it's all, people say, they'll say it's cold.
It's a bit
Isn't it cold?
parky.
Oh, it's cold, Brian. I said, cold. I said, cold is when you've got 5 inches of ice off your face. You can't get the fucking Mars bars into your mouth. And you've got 15 seconds to have a pee, otherwise your cock will fall off.
Seriously?
And that is when I was within 20 miles of the magnetic North Pole after 4 months. A British expedition, we got there. And when you had to have a pee, you were timed by your leader. You know, even women present, who were trying to keep the wind as you have a pee. Because after 15 seconds, you just, you know, with 60 degrees below zero, with a wind chill factor of 70, you will lose your penis.
Now, you have climbed Everest and Kilimanjaro, you've been in a plane crash, you've punched a polar bear.
My God, you've done your homework.
Oh, I know this. I know everything about you, but I bet you've never been to Colne before, have you?
I never have.
You haven't lived, mate.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have a marvellous time. I'm enjoying doing the one-man show and the fact that, you know, I'm 50% actor and 50% explorer. But I just, you know, particularly at these bloody silly ages we live in at the moment with Brexit, really boring the arse off us, you know. I go in there and I give love and light, and I also, you know, want to change every cell in the audience's bodies, you know, and they change me as well. So it becomes a one-shot, all of us together. And I talk about Everest, I talk about expeditions, I talk about my childhood, I talk about the war years, I talk about different people, actors and so forth, and explorers, and do a little bit from Cats, and things like that. And then I do bits, even Grampy Rabbit from Peppa Pig, and do Flash Gordon, of course. Everybody wants me to say, in the world, Gordon's alive.
Well, wait.
I said, Gordon's alive in the old chair. I could say, Gordon's alive all night and not say anything else. It's a cry for freedom. I always think, I tell the audience, that it's a marvellous film because, you know, some people have said, you know, pontificating, oh, well, it's a bit camp. It's not camp. It's got great kind of style. It's got kind of a comic strip style. Wonderful lighting, wonderful actors in it, and fabulous music from Queen. Amazing music. And it just is becoming more and more popular. I mean, years ago, when I was near the North Pole, a great Russian submarine, Typhoon Red October, came through the bloody ice. And it's only 4 feet thick. We've been there for about 5 months, and I got this captain, and he saw me. Oh, it's him. Please say Gordon's alive. And I'm saying Gordon's alive to this Russian captain.
It's surreal, that.
And everyone, I mean, you know, Eskimos and Maasai and Kilimanjaro, please say Gordon's alive. But I mean, I was, a while ago when Cameron was Prime Minister, I was over there at number 10 with Bonington and Ranulph Fiennes. We're going to meet at number 10, not to meet the Prime Minister, there's 5 floors there. A big conference to save animals, you know, elephants and tigers, etc. I got there early, and then I fell asleep outside. And then so I was woken up by Cameron. Oh, do come inside. And I went inside, please. And I went in the cabinet room and stood on a chair. Please say it. And I said, Gordon's alive. He said, that'll wake the buggers up. So everywhere I go, and so I do I give a bit about, because I saw Flash Gordon as a boy. I'm son of a Yorkshireman, a coal miner in the war years. And we used to go to the local cinema, the Empire. Every week you had black and white Flash Gordon, you know, for half an hour. And you didn't know how he'd get out of his troubles. And I always played Voltan. When I came out at about 7 or 8 years of age, I'd run down the railway embankments and see the Flying Scotsman. And I'd jump over hedges and things like that. And I would always pretend I was Voltan. I never dreamt that one day I'd actually played.
And then you're sort of a coal miner. And my family, we're all from Hoyland Common in Barnsley.
Are you? Well, I was born in Mexborough.
Not far away. But did you ever fancy sort of following in your dad's mucky footsteps, if you will?
Oh, well, coal miners in a way didn't want you to. You know, I think at that time when I was in Goldthorpe, the Higgleton main mine was the biggest, right up to the Barnsley bed in South Yorkshire. Yeah. And people were killed, left, right and centre. So, the bloody pit alarm would go off, and we'd all rush to the coal mines. So, Christ, I hope it's not my dad. But the lovely thing is, I was saying it was a time when I knew Patrick Stewart as a little lad, and Keith Barron, Judy Dench. They were all in the local area. But all the coal miners, in their thousands, from Doncaster to Barnsley, they put on musicals, they put on operas, they put on plays. My father knew the whole of bloody Hamlet. They were amazing, what they knew. And so forth, so bloody exciting years. And we had I remember the war years, we had 2 Polish pilots live with us, shooting down the Luftwaffe. And so I had exciting years, and the wooden radios, and absolutely terrific years. I do miss them a great deal. And of course the trains. They're not trains today, are they? Then you had the Flying Scotsman, the Mallard, and the Cock of the North, and the Red Dragon of Wales. We had these great electrical trains, great steam trains which were built at the plant in Doncaster. I go and watch them. With their Bugatti fronts. So then, exciting age. I hated it when Beeching, stopped all the railways.
Yes, yeah. I love railways. I find them incredibly romantic, but I'm
Very.
an old
Yeah.
And the sound of them, it could just send me to sleep, Brian. I absolutely love them. And I was actually in a film with going back, you remember that film called Yanks years ago?
Yes.
I was on.
Were you in there?
Yes, I was on. Well, you wouldn't have noticed me, Brian, to be honest, but I was on the platform waving when Richard Gere got off the train. Did you not see me, Brian? Did you not see me? A little ginger-haired girl with glasses.
I did.
Coming in freckles.
That's wonderful. It's a lovely film.
Oh, it was a great film, wasn't it? And that's where I'm from, is Keighley and Haworth, that neck of the woods. So it's all about the steam around there.
I always feel that, that Haworth and Keighley around there, the Keighley Railway that goes to Haworth, I just think that Haworth is where the Brontes lived. You've got Top Withens there, Wuthering Heights.
Oh, I love it.
It's the centre of the earth. We used to go on drama courses as kids, which was wonderful, and had professional teachers. We'd gone on a week's drama course at the Calder Valley, Calder High School, Mytholmroyd. It was so magical being there. I think that Mytholmroyd and Hebden Bridge and leading up to Haworth and Keighley is my favorite, and I've been all over the world, as you know. It's my favourite part of the world.
Oh, you're a Yorkshire man. Do you still consider yourself a Yorkshire man born and bred?
Oh, totally.
Good lad. So you're proud of your heritage?
Yes, I'm complete Yorkshireman, absolutely in character. We had to learn kind of what you might call King's Speech at drama school, but they said, no, but you must never, ever, said the experts, lose your Yorkshire expression. And of course, I've never lost the expression. That's what gives me my vitality. And Patrick Stewart. You know what I mean? It gives us vitality. I
was going to ask you where you got all your energy from, because I've read about you. Is there anything you haven't done? Or is there anything, Brian, that you actually can't do?
Oh, yes, well, I've completed space training and all that,
You like you do.
I've done 800 hours in Moscow. It's my big love is space. So I help the space program. We have a space program in Abingdon called Skylon. You can get it on your phone. Just press Skylon, and you'll hear my dulcet tones. So I'm working with the British on Skylon, working in Europe, working with NASA, and I've done training. I made a film where we simulate going to Mars to climb Olympus Mons. Olympus Mons is 4 times higher than Mount Everest. And I point the way, and I make scientists and help the Russian program, the European program, British program. We led the world in the 50s. We had Blue Streak, Black Knight, and Black Arrow. And it was banned by the government at the time. It didn't cancel. There's no need to. We were ahead of Wernher von Braun. We, the British, we have so many talented scientists, young scientists. We'd have been on fucking Mars by now. I'll be talking about all that in my training in Moscow and meeting Putin and all that. So it's going to be quite a very, it's not going to be a lovely evening.
Do you change the format, Brian, or do you just do it as you feel it, or is it a set format?
Well, I have a basic format, but I have such a lot to talk about. I take it from the audience. I see what they feel. You can go on there. A few months ago, a man came on the stage and said, I've only got 2 days to live, Brian. Come here. you know, and he came on the stage and he was crying his eyes out and I was hugging him. And he was covered in, you know, he's covered in cancer, I mean, great lumps. I mean, so you can't, and I said, bloody hell, you are now cheering this bloody audience up. And it was so farcical. And he was roaring with laughter. Oh, God, Brian, that's good. I can die bloody laughing, Brian. Wonderful, you know. And so you never know. You never know, you can get a child come up hasn't left hospital for a year and things like that. And you never know what's going to happen.
That's people for you.
But I just find that people are just, you know, and I give belief and tell them about things all the marvellous things that are going on. Because I've been president of the national parks for 7 years, and our national parks are sensational. We're at a beginner. We talk about Europe and bloody Brexit, but we adored for our national parks. They're the most successful national parks in the world. They're wonderful. And so much is going on in Britain that's quite wonderful, you know. So it could be all, I'll be telling you about certain things of the truth. We don't hear about the truth. It's always negative emotion and negative fucking news, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And is that what you, because nowadays, Brian, you know, men's mental health, it's certainly a rising issue. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's people's outlook or what's happened to people?
Oh, yes, I think so. Yeah, I think that people, you know, they get depressed watching television and so forth. We need a much more positive television, much more, because it's not the truth. Lots of marvellous things. We're going to make it. I mean, I sit the audience down, and I'll repeat this again. And I said, I was talking to somebody the other day who said, well, Brian, you'll never get me in a spaceship. And I said to them, well, you know, we are the children of stardust. We're born from stars. And we're yearning for the stars. We want to get out there. I wanted, since I was a child, I've wanted to get out there. And I said, you say you don't want to travel in a spaceship. I said, you've got no choice. I said, you're sitting here and you're traveling on planet Earth at 57,000 miles a minute. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll be in a different part of the universe. So will the Milky Way, so will the solar system. Isn't that magical? To think tomorrow you're going to wake up in a different part of the universe? We're part of it. I don't believe in death. Life is the last word. Death is not bollocks to death. I have them roaring with laughter about that, because they keep peddling death on television, don't they? Oh, get it now and get your funeral sorted out. Oh, stop. They peddle death. Bugger off.
So what happened with you and Pablo Picasso, Brian? I cannot believe you give away a duff of worth 57 million, mate.
Well, I was only a kid, you see. It was a World Peace Congress in Sheffield, Worsborough Park. And there was a big concert at the town hall, and Paul Robeson sang. And I was only a kid, I was only about 9 or 10. And, you know, and they said, oh, Picasso's here painting, you know. And I could get ahead of everybody. There were thousands of people there, and there were hundreds crowding around him who sat there in the theatre at the town hall. And I went in front of and he sounded very weird. I said, you're not Picasso. I said, you sound more like Carmen Miranda. And he said, the way I speak. It's the only way I speak. I tell you what, I said, if you're Picasso, draw me something. And he drew this dove of peace in about 10 seconds. And he didn't look like a dove. That's not a dove. I'll draw you a dove. And I drew him a dove, and gave it to him. And he said to everybody, you see, it is the first time I have a critic. The child does not see this as a dove. And of course, now when I look at it, it's a masterpiece. It's a hand holding a dove. It's sensational. But he offered it to me and I turned it down. And anyway, my father wouldn't talk to me for 3 weeks. It's now on show in Sheffield at the gallery. I think it's valued at about 57 million.
Yeah, just a measly 57 mil, Brian. I mean, is there anything you can't do, Brian? What are you really crap at?
I can't knit and I can't sew. Well, you know, they taught us knitting at school and knit one pearl two and all that, and there are always holes in my jumpers and scarves. I couldn't fucking get it. I can't knit, but I have a go at everything. I love gardening, and I have a kind of Japanese garden, and I have an African garden, and I have models of gorillas in it because it will remind me of my adventures, etc., etc., etc.
And do you meditate a lot, Brian? I've read somewhere that you do.
I meditate. It's related to the Shankaracharya of northern India, Santananda Saraswati. And I've done it since I was 24. But then when I did learn it, It suited me perfectly. Just 2.5 hours a day. I love silence. I love stillness. And then I realized when I received it at 24 years of age that I'd done it as a child. You know what I mean? That was a beautiful shock. Because I did this when I was a child. It's amazing, children are so close to God, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
I think we have to be careful in schools because, they're giving kids 4 examinations. Oh, no. Because nature doesn't cheat. Nature, every time a new generation is born of children, they're bringing something new from where they come from. And we must allow them to get, you mustn't say to a child, stop dreaming, just stop daydreaming, let them daydream, let them daydream. It's so important. I think that we put too many exams on them far too early. We want to hear what the child wants to say. Because, as I said, nature doesn't hang about. Each generation brings something new. And children teach us a lot. We mustn't impose ourselves on them too much. At least that's the way I feel.
I do agree. My daughter's doing her GCSEs at the moment. You think the world were going to cave in?
Oh, terrible. It's terrible pressure. But they're giving them exams. The government wants to give them fucking exams at 4 years of age.
It's not on, is it? No, I agree.
4 years. I mean, I was in the back garden, looking at frogs, newts, and down to the little pond, collecting newts and frog spawn. I didn't want exams.
And you said in the RAF, obviously, National Service, do you think it was a valuable experience? Do you think it's something we should maybe reintroduce again?
It depends. I mean, I was a tough guy. I mean, I was Yorkshire Schoolboy boxing champion, and they wanted to make me into a heavyweight boxer, and all that. My mother was very worried. I was gifted at it. And so I was a tough guy. But I think a lot of the guys who weren't so tough got bullied. In National Service, they really did get bullied badly. But with me, I was in the parachute regiment, 76 jumps, and was tough. And for me, it was a tremendous experience. But for a lot of guys, got badly bullied, dangerously bullied. I had to try and protect them, but you can't protect them all. But I saw a lot of lads, suffer a lot. So I'm not so sure. I don't think we should bring back National Service because the professional soldiers won't want it. Because the National Servicemen generally won't be trained. You only have done his square bushing. You won't be able to protect them. He can't be their guide. They can't be their mate alongside them. They'll be so busy worrying about the National Servicemen they'll get killed themselves. I don't think there's any value in it at all. I think soldiering is for the professionals.
I mean, when you talk about bullying, Brian, in many interviews you're quoted as saying, don't let the bastards grind you down.
That's right, don't. Well, the bullying comes in so many phases. I think that, as I said to the audience, there's no one like you. You've all got something that nobody else has got. We've all got gifts that nobody else has got. Nature gives it. And you must follow your dreams. And don't let the bastards grind you down. Because when you show your talent at something, or you can write, or I can do this, or you can do that, there's always the knockers, aren't they? They want to knock you straight away. They're jealous. Don't let the bastards grind you down.
And we talk about things that scare you. You say you're not scared about
Not.
anything. I bet you're scared of a bloody razor, Brian, aren't you? Because you haven't shaven for years.
I know about this beard now for 50 years because there's going to be a British celebration of Brian Blessed's beard at day, tell me, a documentary.
You might lose all your strength, Brian.
I don't lose all my strength, I'll be like Samson.
Now, I was wondering, your voice, obviously we all know it's very quiet, don't we, and it's
yes.
very subdued, Brian, but I wondered, whenever you were shouting your daughter Rosalind down for a tea, I bet she came down them stairs bloody quick, didn't she?
I bet you did. Yes, I know. What I must tell you is, Kenneth Branagh, I know few actors, and many know explorers. He was asked by the press the other day, what's Brian Blessed like? He said, he's the quietest man I've ever met. I said, are we talking about the same? Yes, he said, no. We go walks, I sit with him and I talk, and he listens. He might say a few words now and again. My biggest love in life is stillness and silence. And so on mountains, I'm very good. On the big mountains, I can sit for days. And I don't need any company. I'm not antisocial. But I love silence.
And a lot of people wouldn't believe that, would they?
This is where I get my strength. And I like people. I believe in people. I believe we're going to make it.
I do hope you're right. I mean, how important is it to take that adventure? Everybody's got an adventure in
I
their
do. Well,
own.
I really do think, Cam, that everybody. I don't sound religious, but Jesus did 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, and I think that everybody should have 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness somewhere. When you go, if you're going to the Himalayas, or you go to South America, or you go to Kilimanjaro, wherever you're going to go, the Scottish Islands or Wales, etc., you need wilderness because you start to use your eyes. We have light pollution in the cities and the towns. We have noise pollution. And to get out onto the moors, to get out with the mountains around, the rivers and the forests, your eyes start to get better, your hearing starts to get better, and you start to grow. And we all need it. And we don't get enough of the wilderness. The wilderness is very, very good for us.
Mm. And where's your favourite place to go, Brian?
Well, of course I love the Himalayas.
Mm.
And I love South America. And when I climbed Aconcagua, the highest mountain there, I mean, South America is quite sensational. But of course I love the Himalayas. But in the end, my heart is at Top Withens in Haworth, Wuthering Heights.
Oh, I studied Wuthering Heights for English, and I used to go up to High Withens and sit there and read Wuthering Heights whilst listening to Kate Bush. Yeah, that's where I just lived down the road from there, about a mile away in Haworth. So not far at all. That's my stomping ground. So next time you're up, I'll take you and we'll have a walk up to waterfalls if you want.
Oh, well, I'll hold you to that. When you come the other night, I'll take all the particulars off you. I'll hold you to that.
Yes, definitely. I'd look forward to it. Now, I know when you went to the Himalayas, recently I've just read there were 28,000 pounds of poo removed from that base camp recently.
I'll tell you this, that they exaggerate. There's only one tiny part of Everest where they got the South Col route. The northern side, the Kangshung Face, the northeast ridge, the north ridge is unexplored. It's vast. And when I was there last at Everest on the southern side, me and Himalayan Kingdoms and the British expedition cleared it all up. A Russian philosopher, Gurdjieff, was asked about mankind. He said, mankind will give up anything, but he's suffering. He loves to suffer. Oh, isn't it awful at base camp? Oh, isn't it awful? Nonsense. You're not allowed to leave shit there. You're not allowed to. It has to be taken away. Down the valley and away. You're not allowed to pollute Everest at all.
Oh my God! Have you seen green boots, or did you see any bodies while you were up there? Because I can't believe.
Oh yes, you do see them. Yes, high up on the mountain, you come frozen in ice. I mean, me and Alan Hinks, you can use them to put your rope round them to help you get up a pitch. I mean, it's very macabre, but Alan looking at me and saying, "This bugger's got good teeth. Oh, look at it. He's got some good boots." And leave him for Christ's sake. But there are dead people. There are dead people on mountains everywhere. There are dead people on Aconcagua in South America. You get 300 or so dead up there in different crevasses and this, that, and corners. And fortunately, my greatest gift in exploration is that I am brilliant at altitude. I never suffer from that's why I've got all these world records for altitude. Oldest man to get to 28,500 feet on Everest without oxygen. In my 70th year. I mean, science said that's impossible. It's impossible, and I just have a gift for altitude.
And did you see a Yeti while you were up there?
No, but I believe they exist. But I think they exist in Mongolia and Sumatra and remote parts of Russia. In the Almas Mountains is called the Almas Giant. And Canada has only been 2/3 of Canada has only been surveyed by helicopter. We think of Britain and Birmingham and Halifax. We are a dot in Canada. We're a dot in Mongolia. And you'll hear tremendous tales in Canada, etc. There's no doubt at all that it exists. And the other thing is that at least a third more animals for us to discover. From Lepidoptera butterflies right up to the Yeti. It's unexplored. The Earth is unexplored. We only explore what we want to.
Have you been up Pendle Hill near Colne? Now where the witches are from?
I haven't.
Oh, well, that's another one. We'll do that day after we've done Eye Withers. We'll get up Pendle because that's bloody amazing. And obviously it's the birth of all the witches, Alice Nutter and all them lot. it's quite an experience, this Pendle Hill. You really do need to get up that hill.
Well, that's another date.
We're going to be busy, aren't we? I'll bring flask and some butties, some tipping butties. Now, so is it true, Brian? Is age just a number?
Yes. I'm sick of this age crap. I mean, 40 is not middle-aged. It's very young. I think middle-aged is between 55 and 65. It's not how old you are. It's how you are old. I mean, I feel exactly the same now as I did when I was 15. I mean, they make a pact with old age people. I mean, from the age of 45, oh, bloody hell, what are you bollocks? And of course, with the new drugs, I don't mean drugs, I mean pills.
Yeah.
And the things that are coming out in science and so forth. The average age will be 130 in no time at all. You know, I mean, the average age, that's going out to 80 and 90. And my dad was 98 and 99. All my uncles were, 90, 97, 96, 95.
We've got you for a lot longer than haven't we?
No. The people make a pact with old age. You see, bloody awful adverts on television peddling death. Oh, you pay for your coffin. You know, and the awkward questions asked, and they cover you straight away. Oh.
It is. It's just building pain up in people. It's anxiety
you monitor this because you never know what's going on. Oh, I feel so much better now. I can go in the back garden and drop fucking dead now.
Yeah, it's crap, innit? So as a youngster, Brian, were you motivated by money or ambition?
Oh, no, never money. A love of life. And I work, for animals all over the world. I'm born free and worldwide life. And I'm afraid this autumn I'm going to get into a lot of trouble because I'm going to be fighting the Japanese about introducing whaling. They're going to hunt the blue whale and the humpback whale and the sperm whale, for Christ's sake.
Are they?
Yeah, they're breaking the moratorium in September and October. They're going to start hunting all the whales. And they have about 20,000 powerful ships to do it with. They'll decimate the whales. They'll decimate them around Japan, and around Russia, and around South America, and then they'll come across the Pacific. Oh, Christ. Everyone's horrified. They sing songs. They sing a different song every 6 months to each other. We don't understand whales yet. We don't understand how evolved they are. So I'm going to fight them like shit.
Good for you. Will your wife be joining you?
Yeah.
Your wife's beautiful.
Yeah, yes. Yes, she's very practical as well, and she understands my madness. She says, I'm totally primitive. She says, you are totally primitive and quite mad.
So what's the secret of a happy marriage?
What's the secret? I just am madly in love. I mean, I was crazy. We have an affinity with most things. We like animals. We adore animals. I think that's the basis. We adore trees. We adore nature. And she comes from South Africa. She comes from Cape Town. I've taken her climbing all over Table Mountain. And all that, and we've been on safaris parks. She adores nature and animals.
And do you have any affinity with any sort of particular animal? Or are you attracted to
I mean, my latest book, have you seen Panther in the Kitchen?
Well, I wondered, is this true about this?
In the 60s, I was repairing a house because I was a plasterer in my youth. When my dad was in the coal mines, I was a plasterer before I did my national service, a master plasterer. I restored a house in Richmond, London, and it had half an acre, and we put in animals in there from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, and Geoffrey Bosworth and all the different naturalists, and we went to rescue the animals all over Britain because they were selling them at Harrods. You could buy anything at Harrods. Elephants, rhinos, and snakes. And we were taking from them there, and we'd keep all the things like ocelots and margays and all that in cages where I was with plants, and then we'd send them back to the country of origin. And one day I did have a black panther in the kitchen before it went back to India. It was a great big female, 9 months. My father had taken me in my youth to see, the Jungle Book.
Oh,
the best film of Jungle Book ever is Corder's Jungle Book with Sabu. The animals are real, the forests are real, the actors are real. It's amazing. And they took me there when I was 7 years of age. And then my dad was doing some painting one day, and I said, come in the kitchen downstairs. There was my friend Nyoka down there who looked after wild animals. And I opened the door to my frightened dad, and there was a great big black panther on the kitchen table. Come and scratch her and stroke her with great orange eyes. I said, Christ, Brian. He said, I want to say thank you, Dad. And so it's going back to the country of origin. Now that's on my book at the front. You see Carly with me. And hundreds of animals I saved that way. Harrods were selling them at the time. You could get anything from Harrods. In the 60s, you could get any animal you wanted. You phone up for an elephant, that next day it would be in your bloody back garden. It was awful. That's why when you hear about wild animals in Britain, they are the offshoots of all those. Farmers bought them and all kinds of things. They bought mountain lions and things like that from Harrods. And they, of course, they've escaped and they're bred.
You're a master plasterer. I've just finished decorating my front room. Is there any chance you could come over and just give it a quick skim?
I must say, I kind of learnt all the ancient plasters, you know, and in the 60s I was in Three Musketeers, and while I was doing that, I did do some repairs on the Chiswick House, a wonderful place, etc., but it was all thistle and sand and lime and horsehair and for the first coat, and plasterboarding, and then thistle for the finish, and keen cement. So all that, yes.
My goodness me. Honestly, when I came to do this interview, I sat there and I read about it and I thought, I don't know where to start with this guy.
Well, you've started very well.
I don't know where to start at all. And there's a couple of questions, a couple of quick fire round questions. Do you mind answering these?
Right, yes.
Yorkshire pudding or Lancashire hot pot?
Oh, Yorkshire pudding.
Good lad. North or south?
North, oh, I know, I love the north.
Good lad. Now, is it a scone or is it a scone?
It's a scone.
Yeah. Oh, what? Did you say scone or scone?
No, scone.
It's a scone. Brian, it's a scone if you're from Yorkshire.
It's a scone from Yorkshire, isn't it?
No, well, I asked James Martin the other week.
It's a scone, is it?
He said scone. He said scone, love.
Well, I think that's Lancashire, isn't it? A scone.
Well, not
scone,
James Martin.
In bloody Yorkshire's a scone.
And who would you prefer to punch, a politician or a polar bear?
Oh, polar bear. I wouldn't waste my breath on a politician. They can all take a running jump. But, of course, I did hit a polar bear once to save us, and he ate it on the nose, and it ran away, so it didn't get shot. When we were on the polar expedition, it tore our tent apart.
Jesus. And you wouldn't shoot it, would you?
No. Oh, never. It's his country, the frozen waste. It belongs to him, her.
Very true, yeah, I agree. Now, I know I've got to come to the end of this wonderful interview, but I wondered if you could do me a massive favour.
Yeah.
If you could bellow down the phone, go by Northern Life.
Go by Northern Life!
I love you. And I'm going to be there when you come to Colne with a flask and some butties, and then we'll have a bit of a wander, eh?
I think we'll sing having so.
That'd be marvellous. Well, you have a lovely day. And
you have a lovely evening.
And you, and enjoy whatever you get up to.
Lots of luck, Karen. That's the best interview I've had in bloody years.
Oh, thank you so
much.
Take care, my love. See you later.
Thanks, Karen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.